Well, hello, my little potato, you beautiful soul. You know, I always like to start off with I love you, so I love you. Um, I say that I need to get a handle on my sleep, and I say that unironically, as it's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning. Ah, I redid my coloring book, two of the kids' coloring books today. I had an appointment at midnight, actually, just about 2 hours ago, with a company from Australia, and you work with them and they put you together with influencers. And although I really like it, it's not in the budget right now. So but they are going to give me a 7-day free trial. So at least I can try it out and test it out and see how it goes. Um, I didn't sleep much last night. I probably slept like 3 hours. And then I woke up thinking like, oh my God, it's like 9:30, and it was like 8:30. So then I was freaking out that I was late for my meeting. I turned on the computer and I was like, first I was like, why is my watch time off? I was like, oh, maybe I need a new battery. And then I turned on the laptop and it was at 9 a.m. and I'm like so confused. And I was like, oh my God. So that was on me. And then I feel like, and then my dad was home this morning. So I'm like, hey, Dad, my the bathroom, we need to replace the parts for the toilet because they've gotten old and disintegrated. And also my sink is no longer draining. And he's like, oh, okay, well, this is why. And so then I cleaned, but what I did today is I cleaned my room, I vacuumed, I did the laundry, I did the laundry, and I actually folded the laundry and put it away so it's not sitting on the bed. I did the sheets, I vacuumed my room. Um, I used two different kinds of vacuums actually. Um, Cleaned off the counter, took a shower, blow dried my hair. And then my dad called at one point and he's like, hey, can you help me with the computer? And I was thinking about taking a nap, but I didn't take a nap then. And he said, you know, I was trying to figure out the computer issues. So I figured out the computer issues. It's kind of, I figured out the computer issues. So I got that all taken care of. And then eventually my sister came home from work today, and my dad was like, "Hey, let's go to dinner tonight." So we went to go eat Korean food, which I hadn't had in a really long time. And my dad said, "Hey, let's go to Korea Garden." And I said, "Well, I prefer to go to Seoul Garden because there's this Korean dish that I like, and not very many Korean restaurants have it. And it's basically sashimi over vegetables. Sashimi, the thing. Sashimi with vegetables over rice, and you put like this like hot pepper paste on it, and it's so good. And I haven't had it in literally years, and this place used to make it really good. But the craziest thing happened is that so we go to this restaurant, and restaurants usually have music playing, right? And you go in and you listen to the song, and now with phones and everything, take a you just you can like you can hit Google, you can hit SoundHound, you can Shazam anything. And it usually listens to like a couple bars and it knows who the singer is, plus song, everything. Freaking Google sent me on like this wild goose chase. Nothing came up. I have no idea who the song is and the singer. I still don't know. And I I even like copied the lyrics, like tried I even wrote the lyrics as much as I could, and nothing came up. And because and I'm like, this is so strange. And then the weird and then the like in a weird twist of fate, usually when the song ends, you're like, that's it, right? That's your only chance. The album kept going, and somehow every song had the word stay here in it. And it was beautiful. And the girl's voice was beautiful. So, like, literally the whole time we're at dinner, this voice is playing. And I'm like, trying like crazy to figure it out. And I can't figure it out. And I'm so annoyed. And the lyrics were, what did I say? There was a female voice, and one of the lyrics was, stay here a little while, stay here a little while, let the storm pass by, stay here a little while, stay here through the ache and quiet, stay here until your heart feels light. And I Google that, nothing comes up, not in a single lyric database. And so I was like, hey, Dad, ask the lady if she can go like in the back and see like what, who's playing. Maybe they have some sort of sound machine. And I'm like, this lady probably has no idea what that is. And never heard of anything like no one's probably ever asked her what the name of the song was. So, but she was like, supposedly went and checked, and she didn't know either. So now I have no idea what it was. I asked Copilot, I asked Google, and I'm just like, and I've never had to look so hard and not find the answer. That's the crazy part about it. And I even tried to record it, so I don't know if that recording went through very well. So I don't know what that is, because I'm I, I'm befuddled, I'm verklempt, I'm like very confused. I'm like, why? How come none of this is coming up? It's very strange. It's never happened to me before. And now I'm like, okay, great. And even my sister was trying to look, and my dad, of course, he can't, but like my sister was looking too, and either one of us, and it's like very strange because that's not something that happens very often. And then you can even put lyrics in, and then I put it in the stay here a little while, and it comes up with Jason Aldean and Kelly Clarkson. I'm like, no, that's not it. But I did find out. Do you remember I told you earlier this week that I referred the guy at Westside Lexus to this girl I know on Facebook? She bought a car from him. That means I'm 2 for 2 on my referrals. Just good to know I'm good at something. And I know, I'm good at a lot of things. It's just that here lately, I haven't felt that way. And I know I've been hard on myself, and I know I'm extremely self-critical. I'm aware. I'm also very self-aware, so that's a positive. It's just that you can be self-aware all you want. Like I can be, and then that's I think that's the hard part is that even though I am self-aware, it doesn't like being self-aware and knowing that I'm self-critical. It doesn't really do that great at helping me to figure out to how to be less self-critical, right? And that's those are things that I'm working on. So now I am journaling, and I met with the coach today. We talked for like an hour and a half. And I gave her ideas for like future, like what she could do, because and I told her, I was like, hey, this is where I am. Oh, I found out that I graduate. I'm done with school at the end of November. So literally the end of November. In November 29th is when I'm done with school. November 30th, technically, because November 29th is probably after my last assessment. And I don't know. I did make a video for TikTok about I don't know if I told you, but like I went online last night and I went on Google because I'm old enough that I used to get my news from reading the newspaper when I was a kid, and then I finally got and then I started looking on MSN every day when I was at work. When I would look at MSN news page, the front page, and I would just read everything. And that was, the thing. And now I do that with Google every night before I go to sleep. I read different articles, and I saw that Meta is now, if you are a public profile, which basically means you have a professional profile on Instagram, that Meta can now take your content and use it via AI. And so you have to opt out of it. So I was going to make a video about it. And I ended up making a video about how I went to HEB today, and uh, people, um, they're like, "What's the big deal about HEB?" I'm like, "This is the big deal about HEB. You can go to HEB and buy common spices." I bought zero point 0.1 pounds of basil, which is 1.6 ounces, for 62 cents versus the normal size at the grocery store is 0.62 ounces and is $2.33. Would you rather pay $2.33 or would you rather pay 62 cents? And people are like, "Oh my God, I need an HEB." I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I love it. And I said, there's so many spices, and if you want to try out something and you're like, "Oh, that's really expensive," you can just buy a little bit, like a quarter's worth. I love it. I've tried out so many different spices that way. Or if I need to try something, I bought that way. And so I went to HEB this morning and I bought my basil, and I showed them. I'm like, "Do you see this big bag?" And even my coach, I talked to her and I was like, "Guess how much this bag is?" She's like, $7. And I'm like, 62 cents. She was like, "Holy crap." I'm like, "Yeah. And so tomorrow I'll post the video about the, what's the thing? About Instagram profiles, and I will figure out something to do. And I've been, and I was thinking about making like a tips and tricks video, but I don't really know what's my tip and trick. Like, I, somebody said, as the person said that the video I saw today, she said, "You don't want to be the relatable." It's like, why do people want to keep coming back to your page? And I don't have an answer for that. And I've been looking for an answer for that. And I've been looking for the thing that makes me different, other than I used to get my news on, I used to read the Sunday paper, and now I read a lot. And like, so I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a new series I'm gonna start. What did I learn from Google tonight?" And share that with people. So then that way, because I get my news from Google. I don't watch TV. I don't watch local news. I don't watch local news. I barely watch TV. I don't watch national news. So if that happens, then where do you get your news from? And I'm like, I get it from Google. The reason I have Google on my phone, actually, for the Google Explore page, because I get a lot of information. Yeah, but this morning was like so discombobulating because I woke up and I said, I have 24 minutes before I'm supposed to be in my meeting. And because my phone, I was playing Candy Crush last night. I forgot to put the phone, I was time traveling and I forgot to put the phone time back. And so I woke up and I was like, "Oh no, I didn't take my medicine." And yeah, there's a reason I didn't take my medicine, because that was when I first woken up, because I'd just gone to sleep like maybe 3 hours earlier. I know, it can be frustrating. I'm frustrating for me sometimes too, and I'm the one living this life. It's not that I'm frustrating, it's just I'm I'm a different kind of person, and I'm aware of that. But like I said, I'm very self-aware, so, and maybe being self-aware is good and bad. It's good and bad because I know what's going on, but then like sometimes I'm like, just because I'm self-aware doesn't mean anything. So that was my day. It felt like a really, really long day, especially when you're like delirious. And I ended up coming home from dinner and like laying on the bed for a second and like passed out. So, especially so. But yeah, that's where I am. As always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to me and my random thoughts and all the things that happen in my day, from my time being off to dried basil and all the other. So thank you again for listening. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.